WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
For the first time in 2 years, the town of Chapel Hill will be welcoming hundreds of people for Halloween tonight. Just ahead, I'll explain some of the safety measures in place to ensure it is a safe and fun event.
And while today will not be a washout, I am tracking showers to move in. Coming up, I'll let you know when we can see the rain as you head out there.
And there is nothing spooky about some Halloween restaurant freebies. We'll take a look at where you can scare up the best deals today on your Halloween, October 31st. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. It's that time of year, right?
It is.
Yeah. Let's see if the weather's going to be tricky or it's going to be a treat. Yes. Let's get right back to meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Peter.
Hey, Ken and Michelle. Well, you know what? It's going to be a treat in terms of our temperatures, but I am tracking rain that is on our dual Doppler 5000 right now. Some of those very light showers moving near the I-85 corridor near Durham and entering in Granville County this morning. That is just going to be light. I think for the most part, this morning we are going to stay mostly dry. Most of the rain is off towards the west. You can see this area of low pressure moving across Illinois right now. The rainfall associated with that extending all the way from the north to the south, as far south as Georgia. And this is what's going to move into our area as we head into this afternoon and this evening. So staying mostly dry up until about lunchtime. I think around 3, 4, and 5 o'clock, we could begin to see some of those spotty showers move in. We'll have to watch for the potential for a few thunderstorms across the Sandhills heading into this evening, but it is not going to be a washout. If you hear thunder in your neighborhood, make sure you wrap things up and head inside. We have the better chance of seeing rain as we head into the overnight hours. This batch of rain that will be moving out of the Triad around 10 o'clock will move into our region after midnight, and that will stick with us right around the time those witches are heading to bed. We are seeing a lot of cloud cover right now out the door in Rocky Mount. Most of that fog cleared out. 61 degrees in Raleigh, 58 degrees in Rocky Mount, and this afternoon, looking at a high temperature of 75. Coming up, I'm going to show you how many warm days in the 70s we could see this week.
Peter, thanks. I-540 and US 70 back open this morning after a man was found dead on that roadway. This is video from the scene from the WRAL breaking news tracker. That area was shut down to drivers for hours as police investigated. We're working to find out how that man died and his identity.
Safety is a top priority as a big Halloween celebration kicks off tonight in Chapel Hill. That includes some new security measures on Franklin Street. This is where you are looking live right now. WRAL's Laura Levine breaks down what you can expect to see.
The pandemic put a stop on traditional Halloween celebrations here in downtown Chapel Hill in previous years. But tonight, the town is expecting hundreds of people to flock to this area. Here behind me, this is where we're going to see officials close down some of those roads at the intersection of Franklin Street and Columbia Street. That's going to happen between 8 p.m. to 9:30. Here's a map of the areas impacted. Franklin Street will be closed from Church Street to Henderson Street, and Columbia Street will be closed from Rosemary Street to Cameron Avenue. Roads feeding into the closed areas may also be inaccessible. The expected large crowds, coupled with recent concerns about safety downtown, is yet another example why you should expect to see increased security tonight. Officers from the Chapel Hill, Carborough, and UNC police departments will all be downtown.
It's not an event. It's not a parade. It's not a sanctioned event. It's a response by the town of Chapel Hill and our community partners in the interest of safety for our community. We've seen many people come to Franklin Street for years, and we want to provide for that safety.
That spokesperson with Chapel Hill also tells me this certainly will not be an event for younger children. He also says a few things will be prohibited during that time frame tonight, such as open containers of alcohol, weapons, and drones. Laura Levine, WRAL News, Chapel Hill.
More law enforcement will be out on the roads again tonight to watch for drunk drivers. It's the last day of North Carolina's latest Booze It and Lose It campaign. Officers will be watching for anyone driving under the influence. More than 250 people have died so far this year in alcohol-related crashes across our state.
We have a breaking update to an Amber Alert you might have seen on your phones last night. After 11 p.m., authorities canceled that alert after the 2 toddlers involved were found safe. The call came in as a reported kidnapping. Officers have not revealed much more about how this all unfolded. No charges have been filed at this time.
Well, today people are gathering to pay their respect to dozens of people killed in the deadly Halloween crowd crush in South Korea. More than 150 people were crushed to death when a crowd surged in an alleyway during celebrations over the weekend. 2 U.S. college students studying abroad are among the people who died. South Korea is in a week-long period of mourning while officials work to determine how that disaster happened.
Prices for grain around the world could soon shoot up in response to a big development in the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia is once again blocking Ukrainian ports, preventing millions of tons of grain exports from leaving. Until yesterday, the blockade had been lifted thanks to a deal brokered with the United Nations. President Biden called the move to break the pact, quote, really outrageous. Most of the grain from Ukraine goes to countries in Africa, which are in the middle of a hunger crisis.
Well, get ready to pay even more in interest if you need to borrow money. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates by another 0.75% on Wednesday. If that happens, it would be the Federal Reserve's 4th straight rate hike. The hikes are intended to help bring down inflation. Some analysts are concerned the Fed will make another large rate hike next month, which could increase fears of a recession.
Another COVID-19 testing site is closing in our area. Health officials in Johnston County say the location on North 8th Street in Smithfield, that will shut down tonight at 6 o'clock. The site is run by Radius and is one of a growing list of sites closing as COVID cases drop. Neighbors can still get at-home test kits at the Johnston County Public Health Department. Coming up, can race be a factor in college admissions? We'll explain an explosive case coming before the Supreme Court later today. Plus, the Carolina Panthers suffer a heartbreaking loss. A look at the game highlights still ahead. Peta?
And today we are going to see temperatures in the 70s as we head into the afternoon. 75 in Raleigh. Coming up, we're going to go hour by hour and take a look at our rain chances that will develop later today.
WRAL's Nights of Lights is back with thousands of new lights. Along the route, you'll encounter 30-foot-tall dinosaurs and a brand new 250-foot animated tunnel. Get your tickets now, as some experiences are already sold out. Stop by the brand new Holiday Outpost and meet Santa. Ho, ho, ho! Get your tickets now at WRALNightsofLights.com.
I'm Wiley Nickel, and I approve this message.
Bo Hines supports a national ban on abortion. I know how unsafe that would be because I had an abortion before Roe v. Wade. To keep the location hidden from police, I was blindfolded, and the procedure was done on a dining room table, and it nearly killed me. Now Bo Hines wants to outlaw abortion again. Bo? Hell no.
Liberal lawyer Wiley Nickel, a rubber stamp for Nancy Pelosi's disastrous economic agenda. Wiley Nickel supports Pelosi's massive new tax hike on working families and all her wasteful spending boondoggles that made everything more expensive, tanked your retirement accounts, and fueled this recession. North Carolina families are already paying in so many ways, and liberal lawyer Wiley Nickel would make everything worse. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Sherry Beasley, and I approve this message.
In Congress, Ted Budd hasn't looked out for us.
You can say that again. Ted Budd took thousands from drug companies.
Then voted against lowering drug prices for us.
He took money from the big banks.
And let them jack up fees on us up to 400%.
And when Ted Budd's family business went bankrupt, they screwed farmers like us.
North Carolina deserves better.
Ted Budd looks out for corporations and himself, not us.
Twins. Not always identical, but often the same. Like Joe Biden and Wiley Nickel. Very liberal twins. Nickel backs Biden's liberal tax plans. So middle-class families here get hit with a tax increase. But millionaires from New York to California get a tax break. That's too liberal for North Carolina. Wiley Nickel is wrong for Congress. We don't need another Biden in Washington. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Sydney Batch. My opponent, Mark Cavallero, is flat out lying about me. I have have always supported our police. His shameful lies have been exposed, but he keeps repeating them. The truth is, North Carolina's largest police association has endorsed me, not Cavallero, because of my pro-law enforcement record and voting to fund nearly $3 billion for public safety. He's lying about me to cover up his extreme position on abortion and his record on hundreds of thousands of unpaid taxes. Law enforcement keep our communities safe, and I'm proud to have their support.
Welcome back at 9:10. You're looking live at North Hills in Raleigh and watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Bed Bath & Beyond is reviewing a possible data breach. The company says a third party gained access through a phishing scam. The scam accessed the hard drive and certain shared devices of an employee. The company says it doesn't believe any personal or sensitive information was obtained. YouTube wants to make it easier for users to know when they are getting information from a reliable health source on its platform. The company is letting licensed healthcare professionals on YouTube apply to be labeled as reliable. The licenses will have to be verified, though. Healthcare professionals who want this feature will also have to agree to follow rules for information sharing by the World Health Organization and the National Academy of Medicine.
Twitter is planning to charge for a new subscription, and I know what I'm putting on my Christmas list this year. A new iPhone has a Rolex watch on the back. WRAL's Brian Schrader explains. Brian, please explain this.
Yes, you may change your mind after you hear what I have to say about
Okay.
that. First, let's talk about those changes coming to Twitter. Elon Musk apparently is raising the price on the Twitter Blue subscription service. Right now, it costs $4.99 a month to unlock some additional features, but tech news site The Verge is reporting that Twitter is planning to raise that price to $19.99 a month, and that includes changes for users with the Blue verified checkmark. They're going to have to pay to keep that checkmark now. That's according to these reports from The Verge, at least. They also say that employees working on the project were told yesterday that it all had to be ready to launch by November 7th, or they're going to be fired. And would you like a combined iPhone and Rolex? Apparently, Michelle's very excited about this. Well, Caviar is a company that makes custom iPhones and accessories, and they are showing off this limited edition device, you see it there, that combines a Rolex Daytona with an iPhone 14 Pro. The watch and the phone work as usual, but a lot of it has all these little dials and stuff on it that apparently is just junk. It's just for show. But the price tag is the biggest turnoff of them all. $133,670 US dollars.
Oh, that's not that bad. I'm just kidding. No, that's a lot of money. That's pretty cool, though. I don't know, Brian.
I think it looks horrific.
All right, well, I'll take it and then I can sell it. How
yes,
about
there you go.
All right, Brian, thank you.
Hey, Brian, I'm with you. And we got to be on Michelle's Christmas list. Well, the Buffalo Bills are sitting atop the AFC East after a win over the Green Bay Packers. The Bills jumped out to 21-7 lead at halftime and hung on to win 27-17 on Sunday Night Football. Quarterback Josh Allen outdueled Packers' Aaron Rodgers to get the win. The quarterbacks traded interceptions in the fourth quarter, though. After the game, Allen talked about the struggles he faced putting that game away.
The only way that team gets back in it is by turning the ball over, and two stupid ones that really had no business throwing.
Well, Allen finished with 218 yards and 2 touchdowns to go with 2 interceptions. The Bills are now 6-1 in the season. With the loss, the Packers are now 3-5. Well, Panthers fans are reeling this morning after a heartbreaking loss in overtime to the Atlanta Falcons. The game went into overtime because kicker Eddie Pinheiro missed the extra point after a penalty during a touchdown pass in the last 15 seconds of that game. Pinheiro then missed a field goal during overtime, allowing the Falcons to score one of their own, winning 37-34.
The World Series is knotted up in one game apiece after 2 games in Houston. Tonight, Game 3 between the Phillies and the Astros is happening in Philadelphia. First pitch is scheduled for just after 8 o'clock tonight. You can watch that here on Fox 50. Meteorologist Peta Sherwood now with a look at our weather. Trick-or-treaters are going to be out there later tonight, Peta, in their adorable costumes. Mom and Dad might have to bring the umbrellas, though, just in case.
Just in case one of those showers are moving through your neighborhood. And keep in mind, if you're heading out today to go trick-or-treating, it's not a bad idea to keep the WRAL Severe Weather app with you. If there is lightning and thunder in your neighborhood, we'll notify you, and you'll know you can bring things inside and get the party going inside. We are seeing some showers right now on our dual Doppler 5000. Some of that light rain moving through Durham County, some of that rolling just towards the north and west of I-85, just north of Creedmoor. We are also seeing some showers move through the 540 interstate right now, and we anticipate rain chances to be on the lighter side into the afternoon. It's just going to be spotty and isolated in nature, but once we head into midnight, that's when we have the better chance of seeing rain across our region. Once we head into tomorrow and for the rest of this week, we are going to see above normal warmth continue. Highs will be in the 70s for this week, and coming up in the next half hour, we're going to break down the tropics. We're watching a potential tropical cyclone that will likely develop into a tropical storm. I'm going to show you the details on that coming up. But as we take a look at our satellite and radar, you can see where the rain is right now, moving through West Virginia. They're seeing some of the rain in Asheville and the mountains right now. This will continue to move towards the east. And we do have dry conditions around for the lunch hour, so if you still have to pick up some of those scary costumes around 12 o'clock, you should be good to do so. We will likely see a better chance of rain moving in around 3 and 4 o'clock. Some scattered showers will be possible. Again, it is not going to be widespread. That will continue into the evening, and we could see a few rumbles of thunder across the sandhills heading into this evening. Once we head into tonight, I want to stop the clock here at 10 o'clock, and you can see some of those showers and thunderstorms moving across the west, making its way through the region around midnight. That's when we have the better chance of seeing rain this Halloween. Taking a live look outside as we look at Rocky Mount, we're no longer seeing some of that fog that did burn off, and temperatures today will warm into the 70s. By 2 o'clock, 72 degrees, 75 by the time we head into 4 o'clock. Check out the temperatures if you're trick-or-treating this evening. We'll see temperatures in the 70s to start. Then we're down to around 69 degrees and 66 by 9 o'clock. By that time, I'm sure all of you guys will be in bed. We will see warm air build in for the rest of this week. That's above normal for this time of the year. 76 tomorrow, and then we're going to climb all the way up to 78 degrees by Saturday. Looking ahead for November, you can see here for the first and second week of November, above normal warmth will likely continue. So taking a look at our 7-day forecast, you can see the best chance for rain is in the forecast for today leading into tomorrow, but that cold front's going to move through, and it's going to be like a drier front, getting down to 71 by Wednesday and then up to the upper 70s by the weekend.